Alright, let's look at the second part of lesson 5-6. And this is all about area of triangles, the second part of this lesson. And it says here the area of triangles can be found using the sine function. So if you will look at these three formulas right here, look at those three formulas. See if you can see a little bit of a pattern, okay? I'm looking at a side BC, and then notice it's the angle. That's not BC, and then look at AB. Notice it says sine C. There's kind of a little pattern here. Once you discover the pattern, this formula, you really only need one formula versus three. But I'm going to go ahead and draw a picture of a triangle, and let us have a look at this. I'm going to put this as angle A. Of course, this is side A. And then we're going to look at angle B here, and this is side B, and this is angle C, and this is side little c. So let's look. It says K. K is going to be area here. They don't want to use the letter A because A is area, and A is also an angle. So they're going to use K for area here, which is kind of odd. But notice it's 1/2 side BC. And then notice it's the included angle. Do you see here B? Oops, I didn't mean to erase that. Mark over that. Do you see B here and C? And then the sine of the included angle? We've actually done this formula before. When you were in geometry, it was area is equal to 1/2 side times the sine of the included angle. So instead of learning three formulas, let's just remember that one. I'm going to write it over here to the side. It's 1/2 side times the side times the sine of the included angle. The angle inside the included angle. And that should be good. This will also be on your formula sheet, written like that. So be aware of that. Alright, let's do our first example. It says find the area of a triangle if A is 4.7. So let's just draw us a triangle. Okay, I'm going to call this, almost over here, this is A, B, C. And I'm going to label little side A is 4.7 and side C is 12.4, and then angle B, which is the included angle, is 47 degrees and 20 minutes. So notice I know two sides in the included angle. So now I can use the formula 1/2 side times the sine of the included angle. If you want to pick one of these three formulas, I would say the better fit is the one with the A and the C, since we know A and C and B. So that would be the formula I'm subbing into, but they're all the same in a way. 1/2 side, so I'm going to do 4.7 times the side, the other side, 12.4 times the sine of 47 degrees and 20 minutes. Kind of ran in there. Now this is just the point where you put it in your calculator. You could put 0.5 for 1/2 if you would like, and you just plug it into your calculator, and I get 21.42, and it says to round to the nearest tenth, and so it's 21.4, and notice that would be square units because it is area. The next one is a different type of area. The last one was side angle side. So I want to go back and just write ourselves a note. This was a side angle side situation. Notice we noticed the sides and the in-between angle. This one over here is a different one. So let's look. If you know the measures of one side and two angles, these formulas can be used to find the area. So one side, two angles, that reminds me of angle, angle, side, or angle, side, angle. So this would be like an angle, side, angle situation, or an angle, angle side situation. Okay, and I want you to look at these for a second and see if you can find a pattern. See if you can find something that's kind of the same. K is area again. Notice that A is squared, that's a side. And notice A, the squared term, the opposite angle is in the denominator. Notice C squared, its opposite angle is the denominator. Now multiplication is commutative, so these two could be switched order, so it really doesn't matter which one comes first or second, as long as I have the sign of A in the denominator. So you can kind of see a pattern here where you're doing 1/2 and then you do square the side that you know, because you only know one side, and then you take the other three angles, you need to know all three of them, but put the one that's opposite of angle A in the denominator, and the other two just go on top. Okay, so let's go back and look at this one. See, the B is on bottom. So there's just a little pattern here. All right, so let's work an example. This is a triangle. So let's draw the triangle. I don't want it to look like a right triangle because it's not a right triangle. It's EFD or DEF, and we know the opposite little d is 13.9, so 13.9. That looks like that's the only side we know. Then the angles are 34.4 and the other angle is 14.8. So can we find the missing angle F? Okay, we can. We can add up these two angles and then subtract it from 180. So I'm going to do 180 minus, and I'm going to add up those two angles, which is 34.4 plus 14.8. My stylus isn't working very good. And I'm going to add those up and take it away from 180. When I do that, I get 130.8. So that is our missing angle here, F. 130.8. Okay, so now I'm ready to use this new function. Now remember, it's K is equal to A squared. Now listen, look here, we don't have A. We have EDF, but this is okay. The only side I know is side D, and opposite of D is the angle D. So the angle D is going to go on the bottom, sine D. So I'm just going to take this formula and do 1/2 of little bit of distraction there. Everybody, we are going to go back to this problem. We're almost done. We're going to take that side, that's 13.9, and we're going to square it. And then notice I'm going to take the sine of the other two angles, not the angle D, and I'm going to put the sine of D on bottom, which is 34.4. So see, that's the sine of D. And then the other two go on top. The sine of 14.8. And remember, in multiplication, order doesn't matter. And then the sine of 30, let's see, what's the other one? 130.8. Well, this is really a mess, and I apologize. Okay. So I'm going to take an eraser so you can kind of see where the problem is. I kind of want to rewrite it. But you would put this in your calculator. You got to be careful putting this in, okay? Be sure and put parentheses around the right terms. Put parentheses around this one and that one. And divide it by the sine of 34.4. So let's just talk about what we do calculator entry. I'm really making a mess here. I don't have time to redo this, so y'all are just going to have to bear with me because I've got to get this uploaded for you guys. Okay, so you're going to put in your calculator. You could do 0.5 times, and you want to do square your 13.9, and then you want to multiply that by the tangent of 14.8 degrees, the sine of 14.8, the sine times the sine of 30.8 divided by the sine of 34.4. And when you get that, and you need to try this and put it in your calculator and make sure, because our errors in this lesson are going to be about putting it into your calculator. So put it in your calculator and make sure that you get 33.06, and I'm going to round that to 31. So the area is 33.1, sorry, 33.1, and that's going to be units squared. Units squared. Apologize for the rush and the interruption, but y'all have a good volleyball game, and see you on Monday. Thanks.